Karl Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Brakatahawa, Brakatahawa Shai, Brakatahawa, Brakatahawa Shai, Brakatahawa, Brakatahawa Shai, the water, Upah, Papa, called Kadash. I'd like to give double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone that teaches the truth, which I believe the Holy Scripture, line with prophecy, is 100% of the truth. Brother Malakama. Just want to do a short lesson today through the Spirit, kind of just putting this together. Really didn't plan a lesson, but just kind of going through the Spirit. One thing I want to talk about, the women of our nation, talking about the so-called Israelite women, the Black, Hispanic, and Native American women of our nation. And we know, as a whole, our women are going to fuck off, They really been led astray by the serpent. And as I said before, this goes all the way back in the time of Genesis, because the serpent knowing, that the women being the weaker vessel, and the serpent, being very deceptive, deceiving, and in his tactics. So him knowing Eve being the weaker vessel, man, he went after her. He influenced her through, thinking that she could be more above the men of her nation. And mainly you Judite women, the Southern Kingdom women, but as the Elder Apostle Hall like to call them, the nigger woman, man. She's the worst thing on the planet right now. The women of our nation, man. You can't tell them shit, they supposed to be college educated now. All these things, Esau tricks that Esau Edom has used on her to deceive her, and to give her this sense of power that she thinks she's better than her Israelite men. And all this devil is doing is leaving her out there, putting her on the cliff, man, unprotected, no covering over her, and she's going to be destroyed, man, when all hell break loose. And Lord said these things are going to happen, man. It's going to be a time of Jacob's trouble, man. That's what we like to classify as shit hitting the fan. That's when all hell's going to break loose. There's going to be no governing authority. The people are going to be all out, sedition. And these women are going to be left out there in their Section 8 apartments, or their high rental apartments, or whatever that they living in, man, or their houses they trying to buy, and not having no type of protection, man. No man that's going to be over them, and they're going to be easy prey. And all these things are set up by the deception or deceiving, conniving ways of Esau Edom. He turned the black woman against her man. He got Eve, out here taking the men to court. She's divorcing her men, at rapid pace. Most jakes nowadays get to the point they don't even see any reason to get married now, or even deal with the nigger women, because most jakes now, they got groups now with passport brothers where they checking out of Babylon and going to all these other nations looking for a woman. And they're not wrong in that, because an Israelite man can always produce an Israelite child, because the man carries the seed. The man is most important. The woman has her importance too, don't get me wrong, in helping nurturing that seed, the Israelite woman. But he don't have to necessarily go to an Israelite woman to produce an Israelite child to keep the nation going. Now, the woman can't get with the other nation. If she gets with another nation, whatever nation puts that seed inside her, that's going to be that nation's seed. But, the women of our nation, you can't tell them shit now. They got this high education, there's so many degrees and, the things they like to brag about. But she's deprived of wisdom, thus said the Lord, man. And that's why she's easy prey for these Edomites, man. They use their women and their men to deceive Eve, This goes all the way back, since we first got over here in time of slavery, man. They've been using our women against us, man. And now it's just finally the Lord has brought it to the light, and Jake is finally starting to see. And really, it started with GMS start calling these women out, man, calling these nigga women out. And once GMS started calling them out, then you started having other content creators starting to pick up on it and start to see, and it just kind of spread to what we have here today. You have the red pill movement, or passport brothers, or whatever else you like to call it. So Jake is checking out. He's checking out from the Israelite women, man. Going to start off in Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. I'm just gonna kind of hit some precepts, kind of break it down, and like I said, I'm really going through the spirit, so just bear with me. Ecclesiasticus chapter 25, verse 21. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure. Because many men be caught up because of the beauty of a woman, kind of find out, once you get to know them, they be evil as hell, man. They be wicked as hell on the inside. And so a lot of jakes get caught up in that way, get on child support, get alimony, lose their house, some even lose their life, behind dealing with the woman just because of her beauty, but not knowing what's underneath, man. That beauty is going to rust away, over a period of time. It don't take long sometimes. Once they get a child in them, or once they you put that ring on them, you notice that the ugliness or that beauty fade away real quick, and the ugliness start to come out. Ecclesiasticus chapter 25, verse 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. And that goes back to Eve, man. It's just an allegory, her eating the apple off eating that forbidden fruit. And that forbidden fruit is really the philosophies of these other nations, man. Following after the philosophy of these other nations and going off. Thinking that she can be like God, be over her man, and not to be in a position that God created her to be a helpmeet to her man. Ecclesiasticus chapter 25, verse 25. Give thee water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to go abroad. That's why a woman's supposed to have a covering over her all the time, from her father, then goes on down to her husband. That's why once her father relinquished her to her husband, she still has somebody to cover her and to guide her into what she's supposed to do. But you have these women now, man, these modern day women, they never had a head over them, and that's why they so all out and chaotic, these women now. They're so filled with iniquity, majority of our women now. And this was a diabolical plan of Esau, by separating the women from the men, giving her these benefits, where she can go on Section 8, not have a man, or putting her in college and putting that femininity mindset into these women once they go to school and get a degree and thinking that they're better than the man. Then he'll give her some government positions where she's over a man, or they put her in his offices where she's supervising over men. Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 10. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. And majority of these women now, because they have no hedge of protection over them, nobody to guide them, she has much liberty. Through this femininity demon that's on these women, this feminist demon, Shalaki, this feminist spirit that's on these women. What they like to say now, I'm liberated, I can do whatever the hell I want to do. They go out here and bare their breasts and expose their bodies and think that's going to give them much liberty. They feel like she can do whatever she wants to do, and there's no repercussion for it. Sleep with whoever she wants to sleep. And you got more women out here now that have more bodies on them than the average man do. Most jakes, man, they don't have as many bodies on them as these women do. And a woman is only supposed to have one man throughout her lifetime, man, according to the Bible. Only one man. But you got women out here with hundreds and 200 and 300 bodies on them, man. And the numbers steady counting. And these young women. And these are young women. Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 12. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he hath found a fountain and drink of every water near her. By every hedge will she sit down and open her quiver against every hour. And that quiver is talking about her inner parts, man, her birth canal. She'll open up her birth canal to anybody with a rod and come, get a drunk, get a high, smoke a blunt with them. It don't matter, man. It don't take much to be able to ride these women out now. And that's being up under the great whore, man, Babylon the Great. That's why I call her the great whore, the whore that sits upon many waters, man. And it's just it's just a breakdown of really how women are, man. They are harlots. Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 22. And harlot shall be accounted as spittle, but a married woman is a tower against death to her husband. So a harlot, man, and it's all these women now, they're nothing but harlots, man. The ones that even fill up these church houses, man, are nothing but reformed harlots. They harlots in the church houses. Most of them in there now, they try to sleep with the pastors, the deacons, sleep with other men wives, sleep with other, if she's married, she's not supposed to be sleeping with another man, but a man can sleep with another woman as long as she's not married, But you have all that going on in these churches, man. You have married couples, sleeping with other couples and all this type of, jargon that's going on in these church houses, man. And that's why they say church houses are full of harlots, man. These church houses are full of harlots. Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 25. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. Bitch, that's why they call them bitches, man. Or we like to call them nigger women, man. They're useless, they're not worth any damn thing. But she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. Now we have a few women out here, a few that's in this truth. But majority of our women, man, they ain't worth the shit. And the Lord's going to destroy them. They're going to be burnt up in that hellfire that's going to be shot with them ICBM missiles when they come over here to Babylon the Great. 2/3 of our women, most of the 2/3 are going to be majority of our women because they're not redeemable, man. They're not going to be able to make it through the fire. One right here I wanted to hit too, because you have nowadays a lot of these so-called nigger women that's Section 8 housing that's growing up in these impoverished neighborhoods, these ghettos that Esau Edom has set up for them. They raising these young jakes, man, which are really bitch-made niggas, man, pookies, the majority of them, unless the Lord put a hand in it and got them out of it. The majority of them, man, is set for destruction as well. That's why you have all these gang violence and all that shit that's going on in these hoods, man. and and blood touches blood. Many of these jakes out here just killing each other up. And let me hit this precept. Job chapter 14, verse 1. Man that is born of woman is a few days and full of trouble. So that's why you find a lot of these jakes do not last long when they've been raised by their mothers, man. A lot of them are very emotional, very quick tempered. They go out here and just like a woman, they're very gullible. They have no wisdom. And so they set up to easily be destroyed or put in prison houses for the rest of their lives. Not having a man in the house to give them guidance or some type of instruction, these young jakes, man, they're a lost cause, man. A lot of them are effeminate as hell. Either they into sodomy or they just in all type of wickedness, man. And so they're gonna be destroyed as well. These ones that's raised by these women, not having their father there to guide them. And Esau Edom he knew exactly what he was doing when he separated the man when he took the man out of the house. He knew the type of nigga that was going to be produced by creating a situation or environment like that. Proverbs chapter 30, verse 20. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth, and saith, I have done no wickedness. So you got a lot of women going out here and they creeping out on their husbands, getting pregnant by other men that's not their husband. Come right back home, act like they never done anything. If they do get caught up, she'll turn around and try to switch it and put it on him, because you work too much. You see that a lot, because you work, because you're trying to take care of the household. You don't show them any attention and all that. The man is not there to give you attention. Man is there to provide and provide protection. He's not there to be your best friend. He's there to provide for you. And your job is to make his job a lot easier to go out there to deal with in this wicked world that we living in, man. Proverbs chapter 25, verse 24. It is better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than with a brawling woman and in a wide house. So a lot of jakes, I've seen them in my time, being out there working, and a lot of jakes, man, work a 10-hour work shift, sometimes a 12-hour work shift, and refuse to go home. They hang out in the break area after work, drinking beers and shit once everything's shut down, or in the parking lot, and you've seen it, and 3 or 4 hours trying to unwind before they have to go home and deal with that wicked ass woman that's going to be there waiting on them, man. Looking for every opportunity to demasculate him and put him down. So you see why a lot of these jakes, man, they get their passports, they neglecting marriage, and just saying hell with it, man. A lot of jakes, that's why a lot of jakes, they'd rather take a chance and go into some of these countries, man, and knowing that they run an opportunity of being deleted, being set up and all that, just to keep from having to deal with these wicked ass women that's back in Babylon the Great. That tells you how bad it's gotten, man. When a man looked to go into these other countries, man, for a better type of woman, a woman with more traditional values, that a man to take that risk, man. And deal with these so-called nigger women that were produced by Esau Edom. You can't tell them shit. You can't tell them nothing, man. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 4. And that's what these men going out to seek, man. They're going to seek out a virtuous woman as a crown to her husband, but she that maketh ashamed is a rottenness to his bones. So a virtuous woman, man, is a crown, man. It's a rare jewel that you find, man. And unfortunately, it's hard to find in the West. You have to go somewhere out in the East somewhere to find a woman that still has those traditional values, man, of being a virtuous woman. But those of us in this truth, man, we know that really it might not be time for us to even have a woman, even deal with the women, on a full-time basis, like the elder apostle Tahar says in GMS, if you got to go out here and deal with a working woman or prostitute or whatever, just to control that burning, it's okay to do so, but don't make them your wife. That way, once you get that burning desire off, you go back, continue to do the work. And we pray that we don't be controlled by our flesh, man, because through your flesh, man, that's what get a lot of jakes caught up, man. And that's the easy trap for the devil, man. Anybody that's been hunting, they'll go out there when a hunter goes to hunt deer, he'll take a scent of a female deer like she's in what I think they call like her being in heat. He'll spread all around so he can draw the buck in. Because once a buck is usually the male older deer, they're usually more wise. But once he's out seeking a mate, because he's in his mating time, that's when he's very vulnerable. And that's the same with most jakes, man, out here. When your desire of the flesh is at its highest, that's when Jake let all his defenses down, and that's when he's easily vulnerable. That's why you see a lot of jakes that do get deleted or set up, behind their lust or trying to appease to the flesh. And what most things that get most jakes cut up, or get a hunting tactic is either put out food. Food is one of the desires that kind of leaves you vulnerable. Because that's one tool that they're going to use against us. When the time of Jacob's trouble, when they try to bring in the MOTB, they know that when they deplete the food sources out here, and you have to go out here and seek food, and you have to go to the devil for his food, he's going to give you options, man. And one of those options is going to take the MOTB, because the food leaves you vulnerable. It leaves you to the point where you don't think clearly. And most jakes will do anything, just to quench that, just to ease that pain of hunger. That's it's going to be a lot of jakes going to be facing during the time of Jacob's trouble. So food, sex, those things are used as a trap, on most jakes, man. Or used by the devil against you so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Mainly the Southern Kingdom tribes, man, you Judite men. Because your women is definitely, Esau really got a grip on your women and got you totally separated. And I always tell you, man, never give your strength into a woman. Never give your strength to a woman. A lot of jakes do that, man. They go about losing their wits end behind a woman because you done gave your strength over to her. You start to let her lead you by the nose, and that's what they call have your nose wide open behind a damn woman, man. You can't let a woman lead you out here because she don't have the wisdom to see these things, these traps that's set out her laid before. She'll lead you right into a bad situation. You got to try to protect her and yourself. And both of y'all, a lot of times, end up getting deleted out here. That's pretty much it, man. I just want to kind of hit those precepts, kind of give some breakdowns on it. And know the time that we in, man. We in some hellacious time, man. A lot of these, say, so-called nigger women is going to be left on an island or left on a ledge, on the edge by Esau Edom, man. And when shit hits the fan, they're gonna have a great fall, man. They're gonna be easy targets, man, to be destroyed during that time. And a lot of jakes gonna, one day get back. The guys have been locked up in prison, and once they get out, they serve time behind Eve lying on them or putting them on child support, and they not being able to make the payments. A lot of these jakes, man, are gonna have a certain spirit on them, man, a spirit of vengeance on them during that time. And if women had any type of wisdom, she could see the times about to unfold. The warning is going out. You try to warn them these things are going to happen, and through her stubbornness and her lack of wisdom, she can't see what's about to happen, man. and her pride won't let her back down because most of the women, they don't have any type of accountability about them. So they're not going to admit that they're wrong, or they're not going to submit. They got so strong-minded and such a push from these devil men that they're going to make themselves easy target, them and their children. So Lord will, man, this lesson was edifying. Just want to kind of hit those topics. Hopefully, it went through as clearly as I wanted to. But like I said, a lesson I didn't put together, so I just kind of want to go through the spirit with that. Say shalom.